Alright, this is Jason Moonwall, JM on the fly, and we have the JM Marauder Hybrid. Tied Marauders for years, I've perfected it. This is the masterpiece, and the one that I fish the most. It's 4-inch bait. This one happens to be a 4-inch bait. We make, I tie them in smaller sizes and other things, but this is pretty much the one I go to all the time. Size 6 mask, 2-aught hook, 2 little pieces of crystal flash in the back, just for a little bit of flash. Beautiful tail. This tail is all craft fur, and it just wiggles like crazy, the whole back end. And it's all entrained in EP fibers. You can use SF fibers if you want things a little flashier, but I think this flies flashy enough. So basically we got beautiful dark overlay for back, beautiful white belly, all the different colors of the rainbow, and just the teeniest bit of flash here in the back to make the whole thing come together. Let's tie this thing. I'm going to start. I'm using a size 6 mask, and they don't recommend using it. They recommend using 2, 1, or 1-aught hook. I'm going to use a 2-aught hook. I'm going to go bigger even yet. And the reason is I like to add my weight with the hook. I'm going to add a little extra weight, but I like to add weight with the hook. And it's basically a snook fly, so it's gonna be taken like bass. Again, Vivas GSP thread. Something nice and strong. Put a little tension on. Not that you need to, but it accepts the glue really well. That's a nice thing. And we're going to tie this back, and the first thing we're going to start with, of course, is the tail. And that's probably the newest improvement that we have. It's got these cheap, junky craft fur. It's like as China as it gets. But it does a really good job. So what I do is I'm going to snip out a couple fibers of orange. And a couple fibers of yellow. Like that. And I am going to grab these by the tips and pull out all the underfur. Get rid of that. You don't need a lot of this stuff. It goes a long way. I like my lighter color on the bottom, so I'm going to keep the yellow on the bottom. And I want that to extend right short of the spring. I actually have it measured. I'm going to work this right to the back, right before it starts to fall downhill, and I'm going to put one wrap underneath, and we could trim our excess. Okay, that next step, I'm going to take 2 pieces of crystal flash, 2 pieces of crystal flash, and I'm going to tie them in right on top of that craft fur. And again, right up on top, I'm going to, after every tie in the tail, I'm going to go underneath so I can find my starting point and tie that in like that. Now this here, I cut the craft fur on this side, so I'm going to cut the crystal flash on this side, giving it about a good half of an inch longer. Okay, so that'll be the furthest. Now I'm going to take another craft fur. This is another Chinese type of craft fur. It's a very soft material, And this happens to be in a blue. I really do like the rainbow works the best. I mean, the rainbow colors, all the different colors, seem to work the best. When I build these things, they always have a rainbow look to them. They may have a little bit of one color standing out a little bit more than the rest, but they all have and again, I want this to end right before the spring. Get very close to the end. Of course, lift up underneath and secure. And you can see everything falls short of the spring except for the crystal flash. I think it seems like maybe spending a little extra time, but this tail is really the biggest thing. Look, that thing is what's going to move in the water, and it's surrounded by it's entrained then in the EP fiber. So we'll go to the EP fiber next, and for that I'm going to show you how I prepare it. Okay, so you grab your belly colors, light colors. I got a bunch to choose from here, and I can add as much or as little of each color as I want into the piece. If you want a little bit of flash, you could do SF fiber and add that. I like mine a little bit dull. I have enough of, I just prefer it. Too much flash seems to throw off the fish for me. So I try to stay with more natural colors. Again, we just take a little piece of, very little, section of each color. Check the thickness of that. And that's probably enough. I'm going to stick with those two colors for my belly. I have a built-in 3, 6, 9. I have a built-in measuring thing on my table. These will be cut into 3-inch segments. So before we do that, first thing I'm going to do is blend it. I got two different colors in here. We're just going to go with the, let me get these out of here so they don't interfere. Okay, so we're just going to blend this, and you can see we're going to just make that white. Take this end, fold it over, grab it by this end, comb out those fibers, fold them over, go the opposite way, fold them over, until they're well blended. Lay them on the tape measure. And you can see that it pretty much covers the entire pieces. What I'll do is I'll cut this here. I want at least 3 inches. If I get a little more, I get a little more. And then there you got 3 flies. That'll make 3 flies. That's enough for 3 flies. Do the same with the other colors. Okay, again, the midsection, Got our midsection colors. I like to add a little bit of all of them. Okay, and then the top section, same thing, blending of dark colors. Dark colors could be anywhere from even a light brown to a black. And blending them, you'll get a perfect top. Coats at the top of the minis, of course, are dark and they're the most colored. And we can see what that looks like compared to our underbody. So there is a difference in darkness, or the mid-body. And these are the components of our fly. We got the belly section, the midsection, and the top of the fly. And that's what you need to do with the EP fiber and how to blend them. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add the weight. You're going to take a 3/0 split shot, a removable split shot. Okay, a little split shot with the tits on. I'm going to put it in my clamp. Just like that. I'm going to push it in until it's seated the whole way on like that. I'm going to spread it open with my finger. So it's nice and open. Okay, we're going to put that over top of the wrap. And we're going to cover some of that thread from the tail. I just set that on there like that and show you. See what that looks like? Come through with the thread. And we're going to just get a loose wrap on there. Position it exactly where I want. I want to see a little bit of thread behind. Grab our pliers. And we're going to pinch this on. Like that. You can see the bottom, nice and closed, pinched off, and we will wrap this in. Nice, they have them little tits on there to wrap your thread through and secure this split shot in there very nicely. Again, we got our tail. I already have that all measured, so I'm just going to put this back so that can rest on there. I'm going to add a little bit of Zappy Gap liquid and a little bit to the shank. And I'm going to coat the thread and come through securing the split shot in place. Make sure it doesn't roll on you. It's beautiful, just the way it is. Everything's just the way it should be. Very important. Next step, dab, top and bottom, to get all the liquid off. Okay, we're going to come to the front now. We're going to add our belly hair. Pinch that in the middle. You're going to slowly comb out or pull out some fibers both ways. And just keep teasing them out. Until you get a nice mustache looking piece. Something like that. And we're going to tie that in right behind the eye, leaving just a little bit of space, very little. down and away. Down and away. Or down and away, down and near. So when you're all said and done, it looks like that. Take our second piece. Again, mustache it up. Mustache it up. Add that in. Middle far side, middle near side. Just like that. When it's all said and done, it should look like this. Okay, again, with our darker color, our darkest color, which of course is the top, and tease out some fibers. Creating our mustache. Both of these go right on top. Nice wrap. And don't worry about it if you don't get them perfectly even. The fly balances itself out nicely, even if one side's a hair longer than the other. It's not a big deal. Again, tie all them off. You can comb out that, you could just run your fingers through that fly and get all the loose fibers out. We're going to whip finish over top of our fly all these hairs. Little hand whip finish right there. Cut our thread. Alright, we're getting there. Now the next step. We're going to use a piece of foam. Okay, there's a 1/4 inch foam. 1/4 inch thick. And the size here depends on the size head that you use. I want to be able to just stick that mask on so it just is the width of the mask. Okay? Well, that's what's going to fill the void of the fly and spread out them hairs. We're going to take a piece of this. We're going to take this little foam here. This is probably one of the most critical deals. We're going to snip a little piece off, just big enough to fit inside the head. I'm going to put my scissors, and if you can see, I have it absolutely perfect, leaving some on the top, leaving some room on the top, on both sides, dead center, and just snip. Okay, you created a nice little groove. Super glue gel. I'm going to come in and apply a nice little bead right here to the fly itself, right up on that collar. I'm going to open up my foam, and I'm going to press straight down and seat it on that, and then push that in, sticking that foam right where I want it. I'm going to take my top pieces and just put them to the side for now. Spread everything out. We're going to come straight back with the wraps. Again, weight in the bottom, intermediate, weight in the bottom, intermediate, dark on top. I'm going to just grab all them fibers and slowly pull them back like this. And I'm going to pinch the head in all directions to give it a shape. And that shape should pretty much look bullet shaped, just like that. We're going to come in with our super glue gel. I used to use the UV because you could shine through these clear masks to do it, but this works really well. And I think, well, I know this is now my new method. They stay on better. They just do. The gel is just a little bit too plasticky, and I've had these things pop off. I don't have them pop off now that I'm using this super glue gel. Okay, coat that nice. Take your helmet, put it right up over the top, and push that back so you could just see enough behind the eye. Take your thread in the front. I'm going to wrap. I'm going to put this on this side. Wrap. Lock that in. Cut our tag. We grab our whip finish. And I want a little bit of bulk here because I want this to be in front of the mask. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 wraps. That ensures that that thread is a little thicker than the helmet and helps the helmet not to come off. Of course, you can see everything is in line the way it should be. Take your comb and comb this out. Okay, and super glue gel. Super glue gel. Grab an eye, lay it on there. Okay, now we're going to do the coating of the fly. First thing I typically do is comb them out. What I'm going to do, put this in like this. Very important step of the fly. Is the soft takes it. And that is the Mass Marauder Hybrid. JM Mass Marauder Hybrid. To me, it is the #1 bait fish imitation out there, period. I've done all kinds of different things with it, and this thing is just unbelievable. Fishes extremely well. Beautiful fly. I love it in the rainbow colors just like that. Again, you can see beautiful light body underneath, dark on top, all the colors of the rainbow. Fish don't see negatives, which means if they're into blue, they'll see the blue. If they're into orange, they'll see the orange. If they want white, they'll see the white. They only see what they want to see, and you're giving them every opportunity. They want a teeny little bit of flash in the back there. That's pretty much what we have. A little bit of flash in the back. There, the little crystal flash in the back. The dark up on top. and the white underneath the belly is the perfect imitation. Soft text to here, so we have no fouling. And again, them soft fibers in the back really do the hoochie coochie. And that is the JM Mass Marauder Hybrid. JM on the fly, and I am out of here.